So good morning. I'm off on my local ride to the Wrekin. Tried to do it yesterday, with it being the Friday, Good Friday, before the Easter weekend. Made it about 5 minutes from the Wrekin. Decided to turn back home because the sheer amount of people that were out, it wasn't worth the risk of catching anything. So I turned around and went back home. Bummer. So this morning I've left really early so that I miss all those idiots who are just out for the sake of being out in these really trying and bad times that we're all going through. But people will be people, I guess. So here goes. We'll try again. I'll see you all at the bottom of the Wrekin. So here we are, bottom of the Wrekin. Urkel Wood, or the Arkle, whatever you want to call it. So how's everybody coping with this restriction of privileges? I'm not going to call it a lockdown because it's not a lockdown. It's basically a restriction of privileges. It's what they used to do to us when we were naughty in the forces. They used to confine you to camp. It used to be called ROPs, restriction of privileges. You couldn't leave camp or do anything, which is basically what we're in. Yesterday was an absolute failure. Tried to come up here because the sun was out. The amount of people that were up here was just ridiculous. So I turned around and went back home. Today, nowhere near the amount of people that were out yesterday, but it's looking a lot better to ride today. The surface looks really good. Plus I'm on the full squish today. I haven't ridden it in, I think this is going to be the 5th or the 6th week. I've been riding my Ragley bigwig with the big 36 tooth oval chain ring on it. Trying to build up my fitness. It's been working. This has been a breeze coming up here. So let's get on it. Let's do this. Been riding this every second day, well, trying to, and it's been pretty good. Really gets the legs working. So yeah, and then you've got the big climb at the bottom, which I'm not going to video because, let's be honest, we all die on that one. You can see after all the rain we've had, the roots all very, very prominent now. Worse than they were before. A lot of trees are falling down. Could do with some trail builders up here. The Wrekin is so good. They just haven't got anything sort of enjoyable to make it better than what it already was. Little drop there. Now we're on the road section towards the bottom of the Wrekin. Ready for the big climb. That I've never been here before. This is the bottom, and that there in front is the start of the climb up to the top of the Wrekin. It's probably the easiest section. It's probably broken down into 3, maybe 4 sections. This section is easier, and as you gradually go up, they get steeper and a lot more energy sucking. By the time you get to the top, you are absolutely dying. Legs are burning, lungs are burning, but it's all good fun. Let's get going. I'll see you at the top. Right, so I reckon this is about 3/4 of the way up. This is the hardest bit, the next bit, but see if you can see that properly on there. That is steep and it's rough as well, but I'm not going that way. It's too much effort for not enough downhill when you get to the top. So the way I go is I go all the way around the back, and it's a much better ride. So basically the way I go, I get to that 3/4 point where there's like a sweeping right into the last bit of hill section before you get to the top. If you hang a left there, it leads you down onto here, which it's a lot better ride in my opinion. It's a bit longer. You get a bit of everything. You get a bit of uphill, downhill. It's quite tricky in some places. You've really got to plan your route, because it's like this little section here. There's normally water flowing through here. Oh fuck, Jesus. Yeah, didn't plan my route too good there, so caught the pedal. Almost took me off, but I managed to get my feet down. This is going to be hard now. Come to a stop. Here we go. Try it. Right from the start. Yeah, I normally carry more speed through there, but because I was talking, and this is the moment Gordon realised he fucked up. Right, back onto it. So now you've got this little bit here. You can go right up there, which is a little bit of climb, but nothing too bad. It's a bit techie, a bit rooty, a bit rutty. And then what it basically does is you start to traverse along the Wrekin, and it's a bit off camber. There's quite a lot of routes. Used to be a single track, but looks like there's like someone's been in and made it a lot wider than what it normally is. So basically as you go up there, and then it traverses along left, and then you get quite a long flowy downhill section, but you can't do it because a tree in the storms we had has actually fallen across the actual trail, and it's quite a nightmare to climb over it. It's a massive tree. I think somebody needs to come up with a chainsaw or something. So what I've been doing is I've been following this route. Instead of going right up there, I've been coming onto this section here, which is pretty gnarly, because the ruts are quite big. You probably won't see it on the camera, but you've really got to get your route spot on. And there's a lot of this mud left sitting around. So you see, it's a lot of this down up, sort of into like a saddle sort of riding. But it's really good. Really gets your legs working, your lungs working. So if you ever want to come up the Wrekin, I highly recommend you do the back trail. Look at all this mud. Loads of it. Bloody hell, look at that. Just hasn't had a chance to dry out. If you catch them wrong, they put you off. The back wheel skids out. So you want a fairly easy gear here. And again, just pick your route up through there. As you reach the brow, as your back wheel kisses it, just gently pedal over. It'll pull you up. Oh, gets the breathing going. Right, next bit of downhill. Coming up, but it's straight back into an uphill. So you get your speed here. Try and get up to the top without stopping. Another little techie bit. The rocks make your back wheel skid out. Here we go again. Up, down, down. Try doing push-ups, but with your legs. It's great, got a little bit of a drop here. Straight into another uphill. It's awesome. Gets your body working. It's enough for me and my heavy. So as you can see, little patches where it's still waterlogged, quite wet and horrible. But then it opens up into this, and it's just so nice and dry, loads of grip, just fills you with loads of confidence. And it just seems to go on forever once you're around this backside. Little bit of a downhill section, nothing too great, not even worth putting your seat down for really, but once you've been doing all these climbs, it's a nice little break for your legs to recuperate before you get into your next one. It's a bit more of an aerobic. Is it aerobic or anaerobic? I don't know. Let me know. I think it's aerobic though. Exercise then, and a flat out, make your muscles burn. Exercise. What I have noticed after riding the Ragley up here for the last, I think this is my 5th week in this restriction of privileges, I'm loving the full squish. The Joker is really feeling plush today, really nice and smooth. Oh god, here we go, another one. They just don't seem to be drying out, these sections. Another bike to wash when I get home. Love it. The joys of mountain biking. Here we go, this little section's pretty good. See how here we get some flat out down here. There's the high line. There's along to the right. There's the track goes off to the left, which is another good section, but obviously what goes down must come back up, and those ones are good, but not for this time of the morning. I don't think I've fully woken up yet. So I'll do the middle section of the Wrekin, just to get the legs turning, body to wake up a little bit more. And as you can see, it just goes on and on. Absolutely great. Just what you need when you've been stuck in the house for days on end with the kids and the missus doing your head in. Get out on the trails, ride them, but be safe, keep your social distancing, all that good stuff, and you should be fine. On to the next downhill section, which is coming up just over here. Just over that little peak there. Let's get it. So if you're a rider that just wants to get to the top and just go hell for leather screaming all the way to the bottom, this isn't the place for you. There's a lot of pedaling involved. Here we go, downhill, pretty good. Let's go. If we can get to the top without having to pedal, that would be great. Ah, these halo wheels. Look at that. Not one pedal stroke. And we're into the next section. This is where it starts getting good. Gotta get your line right because it's really dry and slippy. And if you brake on this stuff, you're gonna come a cropper. You get your line right so you don't really have to sort of turn or brake as such. Just sort of feather in them to control your speed. But it is fast through this section. I've been coming through here and I've had walkers coming up the other way. And that really gets your bum hole clenched. So you've off the brakes and then you're on hard here. You've got quite a sharp right. And that's it for that section. And then it's just a bit of straight. Bit of a straight section here, not much of a climb, so you can sort of get your legs going, pumping, ready for this one, which is, it's steep, but it's sort of a short burst, if you know what I mean. It makes it, gets your breathing heavy, doesn't hurt the legs or anything like that. But it gets the pulse rate up. So you want sort of, not your easiest gear, but probably third down. And you just pump your legs hard and you get up. That's the first one. This one's a little bit more difficult. And it's a little techie at the top because there's a tree stump just there at the brow with some rocks and roots. So after that climb we're into this one here now, which is another quite long flowy section. You do get a lot of walkers over here with their dogs, so you just got to be careful. Make aware of your surroundings. And we're not far from the end now. There's a very techie section coming up. It's quite difficult on the hardtail, but I think on this it'll be a breeze because the roots and the rocks, there's just so many of them, and they're so big, sticking out the ground quite high. On the hardtail they've, I won't say caught me out, but they've made me have to work through that section harder than what you would think. So here we go. big roots. I go right here, missed that big root. Someone's put a we're straight into the next section. You can take a high line. I'll take the middle. It sorts you out for that little left-hander there. High line here, down into the low. There's some big tricky roots across there. And then this section you've got to pull your arms in a little bit. Here we go. High line again. Set you up for this section. Straight into it. Big roots. That's the bit that catches me out, or almost catches me out on the hardtail. But on this, with a rear suspension, I didn't even feel it. It's actually a bit boring, to be honest. That section on the hardtail is definitely a lot more fun. Of course, that just takes all the sort of danger element out of it. It is a lot quicker though, of course, than going on the hardtail. And that is the Wrekin front to back. Amazing ride. Highly recommended if you're just wanting like a sort of cross country, sort of get your legs spinning, heart rate pulse going. Really good. Right, now to get back home. Hopefully the missus has made my breakfast. This section's great. I'll probably get told off by a few of you for doing this, but I don't care, I enjoy it. So fast. Yeah! Another successful ride of the Wrekin. And Gazla, I miss you. Hurry up. Let's get riding together again. Peace out. See you all soon.